some not so good news. In the next 4 years, we're going to see a doubling of Chinese auto use because private auto insurers, private auto producers from around the world are driving this. My answer is, I think the world needs to become energy independent. That's the only answer. The U.S. should lead in totally rethinking and redesigning energy production and consumption. We can save energy through efficiency or design, keeping in mind the ethanol program that illustrated that it takes energy, it consumes energy to save energy. So we don't want to have random energy programs that we don't understand how it's going to save energy. Federal and state governments should encourage reduced energy dependence by partnering with private industry, as we do, to market energy-efficient lifestyles to us, including both consumer and industrial use of energy. The industry is a big user of oil. But cap and trade is a cop-out. It's an inefficient idea like Obamacare. We should not try to manipulate market forces because we really don't know how to do it that well. We need to act on more obvious and better ideas. Now, to reduce oil and gas dependence, we've got to continue to introduce hybrid vehicles. And more bad news. Warren Buffett, about a year or so ago, invested $250,000 in a Chinese company that's making the electrical system to support hybrid cars. That's now gone up to $2 billion. They're taking that over. We've got to understand what's going on here. We've got to introduce hybrid vehicles that stretch out petroleum use, and they use solar power batteries and other approaches to make cars go farther on less petroleum. We need a much faster learning curve on both production and consumption of energy. Now, we need to achieve energy, being realistic, we need to achieve energy independence in stages. And we can't do it in isolation from other countries because every nation and the world needs to reduce its dependence on energy. We recently learned we must be realistic in balancing protection of the environment versus our need for oil. Well-meaning people in the federal government and environmentalists pushed all the exploration and the drilling into deep Gulf waters, but did not think, how would we handle deep water disaster? Now, on the other hand, progress in energy holds tremendous economic opportunity. Examples of this kind of progress are close to home. The Indoor Mall in Skyway. The first indoor mall in the world was created here in the 1950s in Edina. Now, the reason that occurred in Minnesota is the northern countries need to save energy in their daily lives, and so they held in the heat. Now this has gone worldwide, has transformed retail, and is transforming public spaces. And I'd say a lot of this change, but not all of it is good. We still need to conserve heat and power. We've got to make these improvements so we can reduce our dependence, continue to reduce our dependence on random energy use. Now, regarding the Kyoto and Copenhagen treaties and whether we should be signing that.
Sorry, Steve.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'm sorry, I was looking for the yellow.
You have a lot to say, that's good. And now, right before we get to Jack, Jeanette, does anybody have a question written down that I need to collect real quick? Oh, okay.